everybody, it's Christy here at My Artful Adventures. And when I say My Artful Adventures, I want you to think about them as your artful adventures. I want you to say that these are my artful adventures. It's not all about me. I want it to be about you. I want you to try new things and have some fun and create, make things, be a maker, be a creator. A lot of people don't like to think of themselves as a creator. So how about if you think of yourself as a maker? Could you do that? I bet you could. I bet you could, and I bet you would be good at it too. So today, this time, I've already been on here once today, and let me show you. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, well, here. If I move this way, see the little truck back here? It's got snow on it. We made one of those this morning. So now we're going to make the gingerbread house. And here's one that I did the other day so that I could take pictures of it and show it. I tell you, doing this into a camera, this is pretty hysterical. You would think for, people who have actually looked in a mirror that, you might get the hang of it, but this seems to be totally different. So anyway, we're going to make one of these today and with the little light kits. And there should be a link in the description where to go so that you can get yours. But today, this is what we're starting with, just plain a piece of bisque ceramic. And if you are kind of new to doing anything with ceramics, bisque is what clay is after it's been fired once. And so you can fire it once and then you can put all your pretty glazes on and everything, and then you can fire it a second time. And then that's when you get those, gorgeous colors and all the fun stuff that comes up. So I'm going to change the camera here. What we're going to do to get started on this piece, we're going to just use a few colors on this. I just used some white and brown, or basically the brown, and then some red and white for the details. And this piece really doesn't have like a ton of stuff on it to decorate. And so I just thought that it looked cute, just, like it had some candy cane stuff on it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to keep one of my plates out. I used an awful lot of water last time. Oh, and by the way, check this out. They carry this Anita's paint at Hobby Lobby. And I never heard of this before, but they have like a ton of it. And during this time when so much paint has been gone, they had tons of colors in this. So I picked up about 3 different colors to, see if I liked them, to see how they compared for stuff. So the other day, this was the first time I opened one, and so I liked this brown color, and I thought, that'll make a good color for the gingerbread. And so I picked it up, and check out what it says on the back. It's made by Rust-Oleum. So I was kind of surprised. Okay. So this first coat that we're going to put on, I'm going to get some water on here. And I want to be able to kind of thin this down some. And I'm going to start with putting some water right on here. And then we're going to thin the brown down, and we're just going to kind of do this base coat all over. And since most of it is going to be brown, I'm going to just do all of it, even the parts that are going to be the red and white. I just want to get all of it covered real quickly. We'll see how long it takes to do this. I hope I have an easier time doing some detail work on this one. The other day, I decided I must have had too much caffeine. So I'm just going to have my brush really wet, and I'm just going to start dabbing in here. And we'll just start smearing it on here. And these chip brushes, they're cheap. They are great for doing something like this. And then I'm going to come back and make sure that it's not too soupy in those windows. So I'll just let that sit for a second. I am going to put white on top of the house, but I do want it to have a little bit of a base coat of something first. So I don't really even care if it's the brown color. It'll be fine. So just, just smearing it on here, just haphazardly. Not too worried about making any detail work at this time. Just smearing brown everywhere. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good. I'm going to try and forget I said that. When it's so watery, it's really kind of wanting to stick in these crevices, like around the windows, and so. And when you're doing something like this, if you've got, some places that it starts to drip, you'll just use some more water if it's too thick or you want to move it around. Excuse me. And just put a little more water on it. It just kind of reactivates that, even on this ceramic. So this will be fun. I love doing gingerbread houses. My dad used to do gingerbread men with me. And somebody had reminded me of that, and I thought, I'd forgotten all about that. They're just things that I think life is so full of so many things. It's hard to keep track of them. You even have special memories that you forget about, I think, over time. Just so many things to remember. Good thing I got an apron on. Holy cow. Watering this down is just getting everywhere. I know you can't really see that real well, but I'm just smearing it on. That's it. I don't think this is going to really take us very long. And while you're doing it and it's kind of wet, if you want to try to get it into some of these holes, that'll be good. We've got the light kit that we're gonna put in there anyway. So I don't think it's really gonna matter, honestly. This really washed down color, it's kind of pretty. And I'm just going to play, like for now, like my whole gingerbread house that's what it is. It's made out of gingerbread, the whole thing. And I think I'm going to make this a little bit darker in here. And then I might not even have to go back over that part. So you might want to do that. Actually, I think I'm going to do that in the windows too. And some of the rest of this. These parts where I know this is going to all stay brown, I think I'll kind of go over them a little bit more. And really not have to worry about it too much then as I paint the rest. Or as we go back and paint the details. We're going to make it look kind of like candy canes. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. When you've got more water on it, it really does seem to move around nicely. And I want to kind of put a little bit more here. Even though the roof is going to be white, it's going to come down and have that gingerbread on the sides. I'm just going to go around the edge just a tiny bit. Not even going to worry about all of the bottom. If you want to leave this kind of plain like this, it would make a good place for you to be able to, you know, write your name. And if you've got somebody else doing it with you, if you've got kids or something doing it, they can put their names on there. You can put the year, put the date on. And that would be fun in years to come to look back on and see that. And you know, when we see this year, who's not going to remember this year, right? Just unbelievable. That's why it's kind of nice to take a few minutes and do something fun. I think anything like this is somewhat therapeutic. And so is creating stuff. Just feels good to make something. And you know what? That is the one nice thing about using some of this paint like this. If you don't like it, guess what? Just paint over it. When it's dry, you can just go back and paint over it. It's no big deal. It's not, you know, like something permanent that will, you know, you made a mess and you'll never be able to cover it up or see anything different. It is what it is, and you can just go back and fix it. Got some wonky things here on the side that aren't taking paint very good. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm going to put the paint on a little heavier. There, that's starting to cover it up a little bit better. I'll turn it a little bit so you can see it better. But I like this color. Let's see, what was this? This particular color of brown was that Anita's, and it's called Earth Brown. I'm going to call it Gingerbread Brown. How about you? We'll give it our own name. I think it's a great color for Gingerbread House. But you could use like any chocolatey color or whatever you want to use. Okay, that's kind of dry, and I'm going to go back over it again. I'm going to try to do any of these browns and get them all filled in, and then I'll be ready to continue. I'm trying to get in that little window. And just do this part a little bit more. Maybe get this a little bit beside that, because my little candy cane things will be right up at the edges. Okay, looks like this side needed a little bit more as well. I'm not going to redo the top any, because I'm just going to put white on that anyway. I know, you're probably thinking if she would have done some of this a little bit heavier in the first place, she wouldn't be going back over it. Hey, this isn't really my jam. I don't really know. I'm just doing it. And you know what? That's the fun thing. Nobody has to know whether you've done a million of them or none. It could be your first time. And then when you're all done and it looks great, you'll just go, yeah, I knew I could do that. Okay. All right. I think that's it for that. So, there we go. Got a little ding right here on the... Oh, no. Put a little bit more brown in here. Got some of that white bisque showing there. It's got like kind of a little dimple or something. I can't. One on this side too. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. There. Look, doesn't it look how gingerbready it looks already. All right. So, I'll just get that brush wet. Look at how spattered up my plate is from all that water and stuff. All right. Now then, I think what I'll do is I'm going to use the red. And then, let's see if I've got a small flat brush to use. If I use a flat brush, I think I can get a good line along the edge. Okay, so, ooh, this is really bright, but I think as we put it on this red, brown, gingerbread, that's all the words together. As we put it on there, I think it will tone it down some. So I'm just gonna drag it along here. And then I'm not gonna really worry about it too much because, you know, I can always just go back over it with a little bit of brown and clean up the edge if I have to. But you know, I'm really not looking for perfection here. And I think I'll just kind of get it on kind of thin. I'll probably have to go back over it. We'll get a good coat on here to start with. And if you're watching this on the replay, if you have any comments or anything and you want me to get back to you, I'll see them. I'll be notified or I'll check back. So if you have any questions or whatever, just let me know. Okay. These have like some little divots in here too. We'll kind of use those for guidelines if we're to put our white in a few minutes. So I'm going to go around and do one coat on all of these, and then by the time we come back, they'll be ready to do the next layer. I don't know. Somehow, this is not at a great angle for seeing what I'm doing this time. Not sure what I've done. But I think you get the idea. So we're just going to put the red all on here. I've seen other ones of these done with a to where they look like they've got more, you know, all of the candy goodies. And those are fun too. And then when I got this out and I saw it really didn't have that many options for where to put things, I just decided to do all the red and white and kind of give it a cohesive look like that. And just go with the candy canes. I like to have candy canes. I put them on my trees a lot. I've got a little white, tiny little Christmas tree that I put up in one room where we spend a lot of time. And I like to just put some candy canes on it. They look cute, like some red ornaments and then the candy canes. And they're cheap. Could you get much cheaper than a box of candy canes for other decor on your tree? Not hardly. Okay. You don't cover much territory with these little brushes, but I thought it would be easier to deal with going down the sides here. And it, you know, don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like there, I just got red where I didn't really want it. And if you grab it real quick, you can kind of wipe it off. I'm going to go up here and just kind of wipe it a little bit. You know, honestly, if you only did like the one coat and just moved on, you know, it would still look cute. I've seen an awful lot of some of these in the craft stores. And I know to order these and have them sent to you, they do run more than that. But I will say, and not to bash any stores, I will say that there is a different quality in these pieces that have come from this manufacturer. And, you know, and if you're in a hurry and all you have time to do is just buy one that's already done, you know, that's fine. They make wonderful decor. The thing about this is when you get a chance to do it yourself and use it year after year, it's fun. You know, it's kind of something sentimental, and everybody kind of enjoys it. The people who've made it anyway. That's right. And you could order several of these and kind of make your own paint party. Sit around and and a few people make them. That would be a lot of fun. And everybody could take theirs home. And then every time you get it out, you remember the time y'all sat around and made your little gingerbread houses. That would be a lot of fun. And by the way, don't if you're interested in picking some of these up from that link, don't wait too long. You can also go to my website, myartfuladventures.com, and up at the top where the tab is that says events, classes and events, it's probably easiest to find right there. And it's got links to each one of the things, the trees, there's actually 3 sizes of the trees that you can choose from. And I'm going to be doing another one this evening. And the one I'm going to do this evening is a 13-inch tree. They have a really nice shape. The branches kind of flare out a little bit on the ends, on the tips, and it just has a really pretty shape. And let's see. And so, what was I going to say? So if you go and you to the links. Oh, what I was going to say is don't wait around too long, because I have heard, I'm getting red everywhere. Dang it. I have heard that, you know, what's been going on this year certainly affected not only, you know, we noticed it in some things like trying to get paint and stuff, but, you know, more on a larger scale where a lot of things come into our stores for the holidays. That hit the manufacturing in, you know, foreign countries at a time when they would be getting ready and doing a lot of their work for getting our stuff ready that would be coming to us for the holidays. So I've heard that, you know, the inventory on most things is really not going to be what it was, or, you know, what we usually see. So if you want something like this, don't hesitate. Get it as, you know, as soon as you can before they run out of stock. Or even if you're in, you know, the stores, if you see something, be sure and grab it, because there's no telling, you know, how much stock they really have on hand. I might have to go back and paint some brown over my red I've gotten all on here. And I'm just going to tell you right now, when I get ready to make the white stripes, they are going to be perfectly imperfect. Because when I was doing this the other day, I couldn't believe how hard it was to make tiny white stripes. I just thought I was going to grab this and just, you know, just go to town and make those tiny stripes, and they would be such a piece of cake. Just, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop. And that was not how that went. So, okay. And let's see. Maybe I started on this one. That looks like it needs some more red. Looks kind of thin. I thought I went through this when I did this one again. Oh, you just keep turning it around and they all look the same. It's like, wait, didn't I just do that one? I swear I thought I already did that one. Okay, you know what? I think I'll be fine. And now I need to do, I think this is dry enough. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this other little part. Wish me luck. It's so tiny. This might be one of those things where I get the illusion that it's red. I don't know. It's just an illusion. Just a hint. Oh my gosh, you can tell how much I'm concentrating because I'm quiet. All right. Let's try a little more on this side. You know, if you use more paint, you know, you can cover it better, but my problem is it gets gloppy and then it, you know, it still needs to dry before you can put more on. And if you just kind of, I don't know if you can see that. And if you just put some on now and put a little bit thinner, it dries faster to get to the next, you know, layer, next coat. It's cold today. I don't even know what the temperature is. I've just been surprised. It was like cold, and then I had the heat on, and then I got hot and I had to turn the fan on. My little area over here where I can paint and have enough room to put a camera and lights and stuff is not in the rest of where my craft area is. So I've just ended up bringing paints and stuff, and then if I've got other things, I just decided that it's easier to keep my stuff set up over here. And otherwise the lights and the camera and all of that kind of stuff, they just take up so much space and get in the way of like being able to walk around. So I just decided to set up another little area. And, you know, thankfully I've got an area that I can do that, and it's kind of out of the way of other stuff. So I really had not wanted to do that and said I didn't want to have to look at it all the time. But you know what? I'd rather just get all of it in one spot and not have to drag it around to several places, because that was what was ending up happening. I'd have stuff in one place and then move it to another, and so, you know, I just decided I'd just rather put it in one spot, and then when I'm ready. And I think it's going to work out well, because as I move forward, it'll be so much easier to show you things and do any videos or, you know, get online real quick. So that's a peek into what's going on here. Alrighty. Okay, now then, I think that's it for there. And I'm going to get a little small brush and do some of this up here. Looks like a little peppermint circle candy up here. So I'll just fill that in. This is getting kind of thick, so I'm trying to look at where all the little lines are to fill in. Make sure that it's kind of alternating. Yep, okay. I didn't want to think I was alternating and then all of a sudden realize that I had all the reds all together. But I like peppermint. How about you guys? Are you a peppermint lover, yay or nay? Some people really don't like it. I got to where I used peppermint mint little, the round candies. I would buy them to use like for cough drops. And then at some point I found out that peppermint actually is a great thing and you can use it like in a diffuser. And it really is great to help with coughing. And so I thought, that was funny that I years ago had started using those as cough drops. Because that was a long time ago. It was before, so many things and natural oils and all that got to be so popular. Okay, now then, I think I'll get some white and start, what should we do? I'm first going to get a little white and smear it on this chimney and make it look like the mortar in between the bricks is made from icing. I actually used some black yesterday on the one I did. And it looked cute because it rubs in because it's actually got these little grooves in here that look like, the where the bricks are put together. And I put them on here. And then I had some black and I wiped it off. And it looked so great because it looked like the mortar. I don't think it's got any on this side. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And I don't care if it smears this white on the rest because I'm going to paint that roof white anyway. And I just really scooted way over here to where you can't see. Yep, there's no bricks really on the side over there. Okay, can you see it kind of made the little bricks? So I'm just going to leave that little bit of brown stick out. And let's see. I think I'll go ahead and try to do the lines on some of these windows. See how that goes. No judging here, please. I'm just gonna like make a stroke down, one down here. Oh, this is way better than I did yesterday. I've got this white kind of thinned out though too. Across there. Well, I shouldn't have said anything. Oh my goodness. Oh well. It's okay. I'm gonna live with it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the front ones on the front door. But you know what? If this was a gingerbread house and you were using icing to make all of that, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be perfect if you were doing that either. I had done some cake decorating years and years ago, and I've got a cousin who she's quite a few years younger than I am, and it's one of the things that she has started doing in recent years. And I just find it so amazing because all these fancy, fancy cakes that people do anymore. Oh, wow. Cake decorating has just really come a long way from when I had learned how to do it. It makes me feel like I learned to do it in the dark ages. Oh, look, I'm moving right along here. How are we doing for time? Not bad. I'm going to do these here. I actually kind of think some of my white might have picked up a tiny little brown at this point. I don't think it's looking so white. So tell me, if you were going to make one, how would you feel about doing something like this and it isn't just perfect? Do you feel like it's perfectly imperfect and that's the beauty of making handmade things? Or do you feel like you want it to look a lot more like it came from somewhere and it looks perfect? What are your thoughts on that? I have mixed feelings about that. Okay, I'm just, even though I think it's picked up a little bit of brown, it's such a contrast with the brown. I think it, looks fine. Okay, now then I'm going to start on some of these lines to make our peppermint things. I'm always mindful of where I'm painting so I'm not running my hand into it. So if I start over here, I'm going to go this way. And these have these little indentions to kind of give you an idea of where to space your lines. So that's kind of nice. Although it doesn't matter because by the time you put these on here, nobody's going to know where the lines were. You really can't see those indentions once you get these painted on here. And see what I mean? I mean these lines are not exactly, straight. They're not completely even. But I think they'll be fine. Well, it did make me feel good. I had someone ask me, she contacted me and she was looking for a little picture of a candy cane or a candy cane, a gingerbread house. And so she said that she had run across mine that I had just uploaded either on Facebook or if it was on Instagram, and she asked me if she could use it. So that made me feel kind of good. And then here's part of one here. Yeah, these are just not perfect. See, they're not. And then these go this other way. I think I'm going to try something different this time. I think I'm going to go through here and hit all of these and then come back on the other side. and do them and see how this works. Some of these, my brush is starting to fall into this groove. I guess if you had a really small brush, it might work out okay. That was just a half one. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like this method. I've got some little wispy things here on the end of my brush, and yeah, I don't know. Don't know if I like that or not. Okay. I might try a smaller brush for these smaller ones around the door. See how that works. Oh, man, some of those are kind of fat in there. But it is what it is. I don't think these... Oh, those might have been a little bit better. That might have been easier to do with that little brush. But if I do that on these, they're not going to match. So I guess I'll go back to using this bigger brush on these. My goal was to get this done in an hour. I think I'll be able to make it. I know my little truck and tree, I was right at about an hour this morning. So that was kind of nice. I actually couldn't remember how long it took me initially to paint one. Oh, that's got a lot of paint on it. But as soon as I get these guys done, I'll be able to do the roof, and then we're in the home stretch. I feel like I just put my other hand in something wet. Yep. Must have been some white stripes on the other side. I'm sure when I look over there, there will be something really amiss. Phew, I tell you. Yep, I see where I did it over there. It's not too bad. Putting a thicker coat of this white on makes it look really creamy. Here. Okay. Did I? No, I got one more. One more of these guys. I'm gonna just. Okay. Some of this I'm afraid to like go back and try and make it look better because I'm afraid I'll just make it worse. So, I mean, later on I could go back with some red and kind of cover some of it up if I wanted to. But I doubt I'm going to want to, honestly. I think you'll be fine. Okay, that's it. Now then, let's get a brush that's a little bit bigger and get busy on this white stuff. I don't want to put more of that right on there. I can't really control that. Now, one of the things I did not even think of when I smeared this on here, I forgot how hard I'd worked on. I'm just going to do this like it's got some snow that's like fallen off here, or piled up, I mean, and some along there. Oh my goodness, I just stuck my hand in my candy cane stripes again. And I'm going to tap it on here like it's got some snow there. And then, I don't know if you can see, then right here, I'm just going to tap it so it's not like a straight line, like it's kind of piled up there. A little water. Okay. Oh, it's so thick. And then what we're going to do as we get down to the edges, we want to kind of feather it. And so we're just going to take our brush, make sure you can see, and just kind of flick it down here so that it's like it's just kind of falling off, almost like little icicles. And the same we're going to do like on the front edges. Make them going down. Don't make them like coming out this way. Make them going down, because snow would be coming down, not sideways so much. I'm gonna put a little water on there. Okay. Oh, that was a lot easier to get on. My first one, I just kind of, did some random brush strokes, and then I thought, oh, that didn't look very good. Okay, so it wasn't coated completely white. That was what I meant to say. Okay, and then just kind of do those little feathery things down there. And then turn it. And again, we're just going to do some little brush strokes like this, so it looks like it's got snow coming off of the roof. Maybe a little bit more. But I don't want to do so much that then I lose that wispy look. On the top, could use a little bit more weight. Okay, and then I'm going to do that same thing down around these edges. So it's going to look like we've got some snow that's kind of piled up. And so we're just going to do, just tap your brush. So we've got some random snow. And same thing around here. Just tap, tap, tap. So it's like piling up snow drifts. And just tap it up into the top, or into the top of the house. Don't want to have any hard lines anywhere really. Oops, got a little more there. Okay. Just like snow is falling against the edge. And also then if your brush is kind of dry too, it helps. If you want something that gives a little bit different texture. If you've got too much paint on it, it's not going to be, you're not going to tap and get these little brush strokes like that. So you need a little bit, your brush needs to be a little bit drier. What do you think? And you can bring it down however much you want. I mean, you could paint the whole bottom white too if you wanted to. It's up to you. Guess what? It's your house. It's your house. So what do you think? Now, all we have left to do on this is to put the lights in. And so these particular little gingerbread houses come with a light kit. So what that means is they come with the little things that are the colored lights, if you will, and the electric part. So this is what we're going to do. They come with this little light, and let me see. And you get a little packet of the light bulbs. So hang on, let's take care of that part. So one thing, I'm going to put this in first, and I did see we've got this one spot right here where our cord will go out. So we're going to put our bulb up in there. Gotta be careful where I hang on to this. So you can see here, you just take your bulb on its cord and you just squeeze these together, and then there's these little places right there, and so once it gets in there it's going to click. You got a place here for your cord to run out. And then, I'm going to get this wrapped around. And you just turn your bulb on. Whoops. Okay, so, and then, one thing I like to do is have some kind of a dish to put my little lights in to help contain them so they're not absolutely everywhere. And then what I kind of liked to do was to take these, and since it's all kind of symmetrical, I liked putting these in, like this, like kind of, two of the same color at a time. And you get a real variety of colors. If you want to use something that is all one color, you might have to pick up some, and you can get these in different craft stores or whatever. But then, although this didn't have a lot of colors, like, different kinds of candy colors, it doesn't really matter once you get your little lights in. And then eventually I'll just take these and I'll just glue them in so that they're not, the ones on that roof aren't so bad, but the ones that are sticking out this way, they don't look so hot to me because they kind of tilt down and then the light kind of comes out. See what I mean? I don't know, can you see? Because they like sink down. So if you put, if you glued them in, they would stay in there flat. Like this guy is falling down. And so otherwise they would be right in there. I'm sure you get the picture. You get the drift. You guys are smart. So I'll just kind of do that and do it symmetrical. And you can just pull whatever colors that you want in here. Just, be as, or you could, you don't have to do them symmetrical. You do you. Which is so hilarious because I don't usually do. I'm not really symmetrical. I like stuff to be kind of off kilter and out of whack. So being symmetrical is how we could describe some other members of my family. Not so much me. But there we go. Let's see what else should we do. Let's do a couple more red down here at the bottom. Go with all our candy canes. And there we go. There you have it, folks. Our little gingerbread house. And like I said, it's not perfect, but, if you think somebody's going to go up and check it all out and go, oh, yuck, you didn't get that very straight. I don't know. Maybe they will. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. And this has been right about an hour. I can't believe that that it was that close to being another hour to get another little project done. So, like I said, the link's in the description if you want to get one of your own. But enjoy. Make yourself something. Have a fun time and come back. We got lots more in store on My Artful Adventures. And so I hope you will stay tuned. Thanks. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.